All right, the next query that I have is coming in from Karthik, who's writing to us from Bangalore, and he wants to know whether it makes sense to go ahead and buy these defense kind of counters right now. Actually, Sharmila, he wants to know whether he should buy Cochin Shipyard or Mazagon Dock or Garden Reach for a good profit for the longer term. Do you think that they will give you some more profits?
I'm going to dodge that and pass that on to Kunal. Because, honestly, fundamentals, from a valuation perspective, I can't answer that question. But, investors are liking the stock, they're liking the sector. We are seeing a sort of a run-up. I think let him answer that.
But, Sharmila, in one word, if you had to tell the valuations, is it justifying or unjustifying right now? Given the fact the sharp rally, fundamentally, right now, you don't see any merit to buy, given the fact that they've already risen. The valuations are too steep, isn't it?
Two things I want to say very honestly. Like, one is that nobody in this market is looking at valuations. I read a very funny tweet the other day that said that 50p is the new 5p. So that's how people are treating the market. Nobody is looking at what valuation a stock is trading at. The second important, so from that perspective, I don't know whether you should be looking at an XYZ stock based only on the valuation it's trading at, because there are a lot many other factors that are sort of driving stock prices up. Having said that, when it comes to the defense space or railway stocks, I just want to say that, what you need to understand is that while they are getting orders and their order books are very healthy, the gestation periods of such orders is typically very long, and it takes, what that simply means is that for it to reflect in the profitability, there will be some time. Number two, these stocks have already gone up a lot. Defense stocks are up, 2,500, 3,000%. So that is another factor that you need to keep in mind if you are making a fresh purchase. And the third very important point is that if you really ask me, I have not seen two sort of consecutive bull markets where the sectors that sort of gain the most are the sectors which gain the most in an earlier cycle. Having said that, this time could be different. So, which is why I said, let me just dodge that question and pass it on to Kunal. Maybe the charts will throw better light on what is happening in this sector.
But I'm glad actually you gave your explanation as well, Sharmila. This is what everyone needs to understand as well. So you brought out pertinent points when you talk about fundamental analysis of companies, and also, like you said, that these were the winners in a bull market cycle, and let's see if they continue. But Kunal, since she's dodged the question to you, you will have to take it now. These three counters, Garden Reach, Mazagon Dock, as well as Cochin Shipyard, have had their fair share of rally. They've seen some sort of correction, then they've rallied back again. What's your take coming in on these? Do you think there is scope to make some more profits?
Difficult one to say that, of course, and thank you, Sharmila, for passing on a bouncer. But then, I believe what you have to ideally do in this case in this scenario, so because there are two time frames which happen, and we've seen historically over the last 20-25 years. I'll give you an example. Like Bajaj Finance, in I think 2001 was a stock which was almost at 5 odd rupees. From there, the stock multiplied in 2013, I think, approximately to 150 mark. It looked very overbought because the stock had rallied 30x when you look at it from the lows. But and from 150 levels, you've seen the stock rallying up to 7,500. So just to give you a broad example, that if there is quality which gets merited into stocks or into sectors, and if there is a long story ahead, say 10 years, 15 years, 20 years plus kind of theme which gets attached to these names, we've seen that these stocks which may look a lot more overbought on the short-term charts, they would continue to rally more on the longer-term basis. So all you have to look out for is if these stocks and the sector rallies up for or see some strong fundamental news flows consistently over the next 5, 10, 15 years or so, then there could be more built up in terms of price action. But yes, short term wise, these stocks are overbought. You look at the quarterly RSI, it's at 93 for a stock like Garden Reach, and similar 90 plus levels on the monthly, daily charts as well. So to initiate a fresh buy is very, very risky. But as I said, you could probably go for a buy on dips strategy if the stocks correct by 10-15%. That could be a good starting point.